Not the start that Philippines were wanting early on in the second half. Which way will they go? They've got Chan out here on the blind side on the right of the scrum. Oh, good scrum from the Philippines. Real power, although she's knocked it on there at the base of the scrum. What a brilliant scrum from the Philippines. And Tammy Fletcher showing some real power on the loose head, and Tudok as well, giving her all. That tight head prop. Singapore get another chance. Scrum, 12 metres out. They do go right. It's Chan, who scored one of the tries in the first half. Just overruns the ball carrier. Goes backwards, so Philippines snatch the ball away and come out outside the 22. Good power from, I think it's Tudok. In fact, it was Markey. Here's Tammy Fletcher again. She loves running from that centre position. Good quick hands from Indigne. Gets it out wide, but sure defence from Singapore coming across in cover. Fletcher. Oh, and they're playing some numbers here. It's Markey this time. Another good run from Markey. But the Philippines support has gone to ground there, unfortunately. Just not the strength to be able to hold over the ball there from Salinas. So Singapore take it away. Looking for support again. Oh, it's gone forward off the hands of Xiao Ming. Wow, beautiful. Beautiful play from Aurora Sales. And the cover comes across, so she might have just spilled the ball. Oh, Macros awarded the try. And Sales jumps with glee as they track one back. Ho ho! Very exuberant in the celebrations. Certainly determined bunch, that's for sure.
Of Michelle Markey, but the conversion drifts wide. Singapore lead the Philippines by 14 points to 10.
So the kicking game not on song today for the Philippines. Never mind, if they can get another try, they will take the lead. Couple of replacements for both teams here. Dela Cruz on for the Philippines. Dorsigny for Singapore. Here's Lilian. Gets hammered in the tackle and throws a scruffy old pass for Christabel Lin to handle. Is that a throw-in from the line-out? No. No, come back for a scrum. So Ali Sudira is on for Singapore in the pack. He's going to play hooker by the looks of it. Good crash ball from the Philippines. That's Dela Cruz. Assessing their options. O'Malley. She's flung to the ground by Sudira. Tough pass there for Indigne to handle. She gets it out to Sales, the try scorer from moments ago. Don't forget, 2 tries each here in this game. Sudira at the breakdown again and wins the team a penalty, putting pressure on the ball carrier. Takes it away herself, Sudira. Good work rate. Inside ball to Louisa Jordan. In fact, that's Annabelle Wu, for Singapore. She passes it on to Christabel Lee. Good linking work, and Sudira pops up again. Can she use the momentum? Oh, lovely skills from Ali Sudira. Twisted her body on the momentum and scores a try that will see Singapore break away from the Philippines.
Yeah, some great continuity then, started by Samantha, but with great support by the other 2 players. And a fine try. Thought they were going to panic on the line, but a great little score, and secures them the the 7th, 8th playoff. Although a minute and a half to go, but 2 scores ahead now. And
Gets
so
the conversion. 2 good kicking game from Singapore. Christabel Lim that time with the conversion. Sadira, always smiling, very happy individual.
From number 9, Christabel Lim Mee. Singapore 21, Philippines 10.
Well, they'll just enjoy this last minute. Singapore taking their time to work themselves out as Macro decides to stop the clock. Too much fluffing around for his liking. So this could be interesting. Singapore coming up on the bouncing ball and claiming it 2 through Lee. Sadira, the try scorer, out to Lilian. Rolls nicely and presents the ball to Sadira. She's everywhere, Sadira. I think there's about 2 or 3 of her out there in the paddock, popping up all over the place. Although she gets well smashed there in the tackle, and a penalty against Singapore for coming in on the side.
it's been a fine effort by the Philippines team who struggled to match the stronger, more powerful teams in the tournament all weekend, but they've put a good display in this 7th, 8th playoff. I'll be proud of their work, and as I said earlier in the day, they'll be working hard to develop to the next level throughout the season, this coming season, and head towards, I know they enjoy being at the Hong Kong Sevens, the ladies Sevens every year.
So Annabelle Wu marching forward and gets it to Samantha Teo.
Samantha Teo, as we discussed earlier, great links to Hong Kong. Lovely to see her finishing the day with a try under the sticks.
Try on the final hooter
So
for
Singapore
number 2,
have assured themselves of 7th position here in Hong Kong. Just take the conversion to see if they can retain their perfect kicking record from Clarissa Lin. She's done a great job. 4 converted tries and a 28 points to 10 victory. Singapore takes 7th over the Philippines.
Singapore 28, Philippines 10. Please show your appreciation for both teams for all their efforts over the last 2 days. Singapore and the Philippines.
Yeah.
Oh, no need for the placard now. Again, Elliott. Good rehearsals. Good rehearsal. I think they thought there was going to be a presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Di Reese has joined me again. Di, day 2 of our Hong Kong teams in the cup final as head of technical development and performance. You must be pretty chuffed, mate.
Fantastic day. Historic times. First time that 2 Hong Kong teams have ever played in 2 finals. It's a special day, and it's at the home of Hong Kong Rugby in Hong Kong, first Asian 7 Series, and indeed the 2 captains are from the home club, Hong Kong Football Club. So it's a special day for the teams, and particularly for Jamie Hood and for Royce Chang.
Absolutely, and dare I ask, Di, your prediction for the finals, both finals?
Andy, I can only say 2 wins, can I?
Well, I think we all share Di's sentiments. Don't forget the women's final kicks off at 5:05. The men's final will follow, but before then, we've got lots more rugby, including the ladies final, plate final, which starts very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for some more women's rugby. This time we have the plate final. Please put your hands together and welcome back to the pitch for the last time our finalists, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Your referee for this match is Mr. Mark Jackson, and he is from the UAE.
So, plate final here for the women. Sri Lanka in the white, Thailand in the yellow. Quick ball for Sri Lanka, but they'll come back to the mark. And the Singer attempting to make it a quick play. Two teams full of physical aggression. Not the largest girls in the world, but some fantastic technique will be exhibited. Some real aggression at the tackle. I've seen both these teams operate. Space here on the outside with the last pass from Ratanaporn. Not the best, but they retain possession through Rasamir Singh Songkham. Good support coming around the fringes from Thailand, which has gone out. Good run from Liam Rat, and we've seen her score a few tries over the last couple of days, Liam Rat. Oh, beautiful technique from Una Singer at the line out there. Head down, ploughing in is Vikramatha. Spreading it wide through Durukshi. She's got the pass away too, nice pass. Just lost a bit of momentum. This time it's Aisha. Oh, a lovely miracle ball there to Sandika Himakumari. And the first try of Sri Lanka's in this plate final.
And it's scored by Sri Lanka, number 8, Sandika Hemakumari. Successful conversion from the groups
Shan
of
Pereira
number 4,
coaching the Sri Lankan team.
Sri Lanka 7, Thailand yet to score.
Look at that, what a lovely ball. And this one as well, just finding the support in droves there. And Sandika going over for a try. Replacement for Thailand. We'll see Chichanok Yusri coming on. Yeah. Jutamas. Nice slip there to Ratanaporn. Jutamas gets it back. Now it's Sisok Korn. Nice interplay here from Thailand. Yamat. Good brave play from Ratanaporn again. Oh, nice powerful work too from Jutamas, although there's a penalty against her. Physical there, Jutamas. Talking of physical, there's Ramdika running it up. Another penalty for Sri Lanka. Slowing it down. You would have liked that decision, I think, there, Dai. Well, let's see if they can throw Munasinger up there again. It was a lovely take, the last line out we saw down there in that part of the ground. Yeah, look at that, beautiful control. So coming back for another penalty in Sri Lanka. We'll have to cross to the other side of the ground here. Sri Lanka doing a great job here against Thailand. They've really held the upper hand in this first half. Munasinger looking to her right, and they're going to take it into touch again. Let's see if referee Jackson allows that line-out technique once more. Well, it's pretty effective, and the early lift does mean that Thailand are welcome to get up in the air and compete themselves.
Really early left,
he'll know.
and they hang there. No, that's more timing.
That was
much
better
better.
time.
Much better timing.
Snappy, yeah.
Much better timing then. And,
so out wide here again to Sandika. She's already scored a try. Pops
really?
a lovely ball to Tanuja.
too lovely to both tries, Mike. Both this offload off the ground with Sri Lanka, they seem to be aware of the runners around them when they're hitting the deck in the
Good
tackle.
support lines too, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic support lines, and yeah, real good try to take them. This is, I got to say, I think I went on record earlier. This is a little bit surprising with Thailand having, as you say, narrowly lost out on the Cup semi-finals yesterday. I anticipated or thought that they would have been up and probably leading at this point.
Just under a minute to go in this first half. Conversion is successful, so 2 from 2, 14-0.
Conversion from the touchline.
To see a replay of the try, and to look at this lovely pop there. Didn't even look, just knew there was somebody there behind her.
Lovely little offload, and that's been the name of the game for Sri Lanka in the first 7 minutes of this game, first 6.5 minutes of this game.
Well, that's a lovely run from Ushri. Oh, she's got some speed. The girl who came on as a replacement finally dragged down at the 22. Urgency here from Sri Lanka, and they've stolen the ball. Referee allows play on. There's the hooter for half time. So Sri Lanka, will they go for the attack or get it out? I think they want to kick it out. They're screaming from the touchline to tell them to just diffuse the situation. They're playing very positively here.
Very animated bench down here, Mike. Shouting the instructions on. You need to be calmed down. And taking the 14-0 lead at half-time, Sri Lanka will be very, very pleased with that.
Blood. One of the Sri Lankan players being attended to, Randika, one of their powerful forwards. It's a bit nasty, blood flowing pretty profusely.
Could we have a medic to the technical zone, please? A medic to the technical zone, please.
So Sri Lanka will be remarkably happy with their performance in this first half. Di, it's 14-0.
They are, I've got to say, if there was an award for the most improved player, if there was an award, or most improved team, sorry, it would have to be Sri Lanka. They just don't look like the same team that played the first two games yesterday. They're in fantastic form.
So their forward Randika with a bit of blood flowing from her mouth. She'll won't start the second half. Keen to get on down here in the foreground under the commentary box, but they're just allowing a couple of minutes to catch a breath, stop the flow of blood. This girl's been impressive.
Top quality player. Yeah.
Danuja. And draws the penalty as well.
She's been a key player. Yeah, she kicks well. She's the talisman for the Sri Lankan team.
It's interesting watching Coach Pereira go straight to her at half time and just clarify a few things, get her steering the rudder in the right direction.
She's certainly up there. If you were to pick a player of the tournament, an influential player in their team, she'd be certainly on that short list.
Playing the centre from this set piece. And the Singer goes up again. Not straight though. Slightly askew with the throw. So there will be a scrum. Hopefully we'll get Shano up here for a spell of commentary later on, once he's finished his coaching duties. If he's got any voice left. He's screaming left, right and centre at the moment at his girls. Encouraging them on. This will be a good win for them if they can take this one out. Hold on. 5.5 minutes for Thailand to get back into this game. Well, it's a great run from the flyer, Yusri, and she's gone over too. Well, she showed a lot of patience. She came on. Amazing that she wasn't starting, because she certainly looked a likely lass out on the right wing, that's for sure.
She's had a real impact since coming on. I mean, replaced probably one of the other quickest players in the tournament, but as well did so well to get round under the post critical in a 14-point game. So this conversion is exceptionally important. And fantastic, 7-point try.
From the boot of
Jutamas Bucket.
14, Thailand 7.
He was the kicker of that conversion.
Game on, all to play for, Mike.
Just 7 points in it. Jutamas restarts play. So Sandeepa will get smashed. Now Thailand sent. But they're in with a shot here, but they're penalised by referee Jackson. So Tanuja, he just slows it down and comes off the side of the boot a little bit. Only makes 5 metres, but makes sure of the touch.
Thailand always have the capacity now, though, Mike. I know that Sri Lanka need to be continuing to work hard and play, not shut the game down. They need to be positive, because Thailand will pinch this game in the dire moments.
Oh, the Thais going up and competing here. So
there's the penalty for the mistimed line out, and The tide, I feel, is swinging towards Thailand.
Yes, you can feel the momentum shift. Juthamas to take the tap penalty, free kick. 15 metres in and 35 metres out. And a nice little switch of play there from Thailand. Goes to Tumpon, to Piamat. Juthamas again featuring, linking well. Here's the fly, Yusri. Changes direction inside, and well, she was held there, so we'll come back for another penalty for a head-high tackle. So Thailand get another chance to claw their way back into this plate final.
Critical play, 3 minutes left on the clock. The Sri Lankans have been getting through some work in these contact areas, Mike, and again, superb pressure on the ball in defence.
It's presented on a plate there, and Juthamas again to Yusri. That's becoming an effective combination, although they tie her up well, I think, the Thai girl. Good tackle from Sandika. And it's a turnover here. Oh, but they're penalised. And this is such a crucial moment in this game. Thailand 10 metres out, and the Sri Lankan girls have had to make a lot of tackles in the last 1 minute. Nice switch of play.
Great.
Fantastic tackle on Thailand.
Oh, this could be a critical play.
Yeah, well, and it's our star too that we were praising as well. Thanuja didn't seem to be a lot in it. Maybe just slight contact with the bottom of the neck as she cloaked her way around the Thai attacker. But the numbers advantage is too much already for Sri Lanka. And it's Yusri who goes in for her second try.
Number 7,
Well, Sri Lanka, this is a critical conversion for Thailand. Critically now, 14-all, and they're going to see out normal time down to 6 women, I should say, 6 men. So Sri Lanka are going to have to see the last minute and a half out without one of their star players on the field.
14-all.
Means that the game is tied.
So Thailand have really clawed their way back into this one. They've missed the physical presence of Randika, who had to go off with a blood injury at half-time. She supplied a lot of the brutality in the contact zone, and she wants to get on. I'm just having a look down there. She'd love to get on for the last minute or two of this game, but the medics probably advising her to just take a rest, I think. Ball's gone into space, and the 6-woman Sri Lankan team under the kosh from the Thais, who try to hold this runner up, create the maul. Well, they haven't. Yes. So, oh, there's a yellow card. Oh dear, the wheels have come off here from Jackson. Unusual decision. They held the ball runner up. It was a maul, and he penalised her for not releasing the ball carrier. That was an unusual one. Well, the sun has an effect on all sorts of people as well as the players. 34 degrees out there.
I think, Mike, dare I say it, we might be seeing our first overtime game, our first golden score.
Not if Sri Lanka have got anything to do with it. Aisha's away. Oh, that might have been forward, though, that pass. And big smashing tackle. And I don't think Juthamas is going to come up from that knock. It was nasty, courageous. But clutching her neck. It's a penalty to Thailand, but there's a severely injured player on the ground. Not sure if Jackson will stop her here. Yes, he's seen it now. That's good. This looks like a nasty injury to Juthamas.
Well, I think we're going to go into extra time now, unless Thailand can go the length. And who knows? But if we do, it'll back to be 7-on-7s. Certainly with the Sri Lankan number 4, Dilrukski, coming back on. If it goes to overtime, she'll have a massive effect on overtime. Still one last play.
Well, it was a game-saving tackle from Juthamas. She seems to have done herself a mischief. And it's such a physical game as the girls tie up. And we've already seen Randika with a nasty knock to her nose and mouth, and now Juthamas. from Thailand with a neck injury, so we'll be very careful as we
can't bring it in.
take her from the ground to be messed with these neck injuries. Makes her way off the ground. That's good news. As soon as we saw the tackle, it was not that promising. But, it's good that she's made her way off the ground, and there she is. And being nasty. And here we see the tackle coming up now. It looked like a try for all money.
Discussion on the touchline as well about the yellow cards come back on. Big discussion. Although Thailand look as if they're going to just put it off and settle for extra time.
So that is normal time played and 14 all deadlock that will be decided by extra time. Well, this is where we find out the exact rules and laws of the tournament. Is it a golden point or is it
golden
a
point? I
set time?
believe.
5-minute golden rule. There we are. So 5 minutes each way, but of course the first score will win the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to explain, it is a 14-all tie at the end of normal time. So there has been a toss and there will be a further period of 5 minutes each way if necessary, but it's golden points. Golden points, so the first team to score.
Drama we've had here at the Hong Kong Football Club. Sri Lanka were out to a 14-0 lead at the break, and then Thailand clawing their way back from adversity and ending
Mike,
up.
testing your knowledge now. 5
yes,
minutes
Stein.
golden score. What happens after 5 minutes if it's still 14-all?
They turn around and play another 5 minutes.
And what happens after that?
Then they take drop kicks, I guess.
I'm sure we're going to score in the next 5 to 10 minutes, Mike.
I think we will. Oh, this is a
We're not gonna
brilliant
have to
piece
wait
of
long.
play here from Anusha. Nice swerve from Anusha. She's going to go all the way. They won't be able to stop her. Look at her go. And the Sri Lankan crowd and support go crazy because they've won the plate at the Asian 7 Series. Lovely piece of success from the Sri Lankan girls. And aren't they happy? And why wouldn't they be? Fantastic effort from the girls in white. What a determined dash that was from Aisha Dairis.
Fantastic. Perhaps now Thailand were regretting settling things down at the end of the game. They had prime possession, a chance to attack from deep inside their own half, decided to go for extra time and allowed 7 girls to rejoin the game, or one of the girls to rejoin. So great final, and I've got to say, Mike, the most improved team at the tournament, men and women, absolutely fantastic. The Sri Lankan girls, the way they progressed, they could be a real danger if they can hold that squad together now and work with them over the next couple of months, particularly towards the Asian Games, I'm suggesting. 2 tournaments out, a few more tournament exposures before that, and they're a fine group of girls and athletes, girls who can run 40, 50, 60 metres. They are a threat to the Asian rugby, or the echelons, the top echelons of rugby nations in the women's game. Fantastic performance and great for the game in Asia.
Well, welcome back to the pitch for the final time. The teams from the Philippines.
The final score 19-14 to Sri Lanka. They win the plate final. Jubilant scenes underneath the commentary box here with the Sri Lankan women winning the plate, and now it's the turn of the men. Malaysia have decided to go with the blue strip for this plate final, and they will take on the Philippines.
I got him.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Your referee for this match is
Yeah, no
Mr.
worries.
Matt Roggins from Hong Kong.
Have you got Philippines as well? Yeah. I've got a few notes on this, so I'll use it.
Yeah.
Now, what's this? Is this 7th and 8th, yeah? Not plate final. In fact, this is the 7th and 8th playoff. Of course, Malaysia going down to Singapore in the plate semis, and the Philippines being eclipsed by the People's Republic of China. So we'll see that plate final after this game. So 7th and 8th playoff here. And Malaysia certainly look dashing in their blue strip. Enjoying that a lot. And it seems as though Rambebe is enjoying it as well, the way he's dashing and flashing. Atunaisia.
Well, Baby's had a big influence over the performances so far, or probably a negative influence, just not controlling the contact area there.
So first try will come from Andrew Wolf, who goes in under the post there. Lin is trying to catch him, and just comes up short as Wolf
First
dots
try
down.
of the match, scored by the Philippines. Number 1, Andrew.
Lynn, this young kid has impressed me this weekend already. 18-year-old, I believe, from Malaysian International School.
Yeah.
Great to see him out there, centre in 15s, as you said, and that's had a real impact for Malaysia. Great to see a young talent coming into the game.
Well, he let me in on his ambition. He'd love to join the elite camp at the Sydney University, even though he was born in Scotland. He spent some time in Sydney. His dad's in the oil industry, so tends to gypsy around a bit. But yeah, that'll be interesting, and certainly he's got a lot of potential, the young fella. So whether we see him turn up in the future for Malaysia or Scotland or Australia, I'm sure we'll be hearing more from Murray Lin.
I'm hoping that Murray Lin made an assessment on it, because as of today he's sealed to Malaysia.
Yes, well, that
as
could
an
be interesting.
18-year-old now, full international, he's now IRB sealed to Malaysia. So I hope that people sat him down and talked to him about those kind of things, something we have to experience and deal with in Hong Kong regularly.
Yep.
With boys being born in Hong Kong, but parents giving them eligibility to play for sometimes 3 and 4 countries.
Looks like Timble Henny's got a knock, and he's got his magic talisman back on that he had to take off earlier in the game or in the semi-final, but it's done him no good either. Waheni will go off after just a couple of minutes of play. And it's Ned Stevenson comes on, gets a lot more time than he's had in the last day or two after being red carded against Kazakhstan. Nice deep kickoff down to Zarif. And ploughed into touch there, Daniel. So just slow it down here. The Philippines might have been touched by somebody else, so no quick throw in. Nice jump at the line out from Vincent Young, who's spending a lot more time on the paddock as well as the tournament progresses. Untidy though from Stevenson. And some wonderful applause for the women's plate champions, Sri Lanka. They're doing a little parade of the field, saluting the crowd. Great to see. Zarif to put this ball into the scrum eventually. He slowed down, and as you say, Di, A lot of these players losing the accuracy and the skills as the weekend wears on.
And certainly now moving into Sunday afternoon, the temperature not easing up.
Jake Letts taps and goes to Holgate. This is Stevenson. Oh, lovely inside ball there. And it's try time to the Philippines. Holgate.
Gareth Holgate.
For the Philippines, score man number 5,
Interesting character,
Holgate.
Gareth. Lovely to see him still involved with Philippine rugby. Came across Gareth. He was did his university, hence the Gareth, the Welsh name. He did his. He's got Welsh origins and did his university studies at UWIC, and unknown to me, actually coached him in sevens, probably before I joined Hong Kong, so back 8-9 years ago. And he came up to me in one of the Asian series, so he's got a strong link to Wales, and obviously he's now living in Manila, settling with his family located in Manila. So a great now ambassador as well, working full time for the union.
Yes, and spent some time in Japan playing professional rugby as well with Kyuden Voltex in the south of Japan. So that experience standing him in good stead as well. So 12-0 to Philippines over Malaysia, and he's hit that one high, wide and handsome. So
And just when you're building someone up and explaining what influence he has on the game, a critical mistake. As coaches, we struggle with those kind of mistakes because they are avoidable at all times, really, on the kick-off and a critical part of the game.
and here's the Reef going away with the tap penalty, Zulkifli. And Atunaisia misses the ball. Here's Wolf, scored the first try. Some pace for a big man, wonderful physique too, Andrew Wolf. Look at him dancing around the defence, good work. Short, quick strides. Stevenson in support, good work. Letts decides to go left. Now Holgate changes, and they get it to Sean Lynch, who's a good ball runner too, and he's had a great combination with his brother Jason, drawing the defence, but sloppy pass.
Yeah, just a
Off the
little
left
bit
hand.
off the mark. He drew the man superbly well, it in the gap and space. Sean it in the gap and space between the two defenders, and just that pass into his brother out wide would have given the Philippines a fantastic lead as they probably.
I think we'll call them the Lynch mob out there on the right side of the field.
I like it.
They're certainly
Or the Lynch pins.
and the Lynch pins, nice.
They'll all come out, Mike. But no, it was fine play and just not able to complete.
Oh, tight head to the Philippines. Letts assesses his options. Holgate. And, well, they drew in the defence there. Not the best of decisions from Atunaisia there in defence. A little naive. Came in on Holgate, and there were always numbers to burn outside. And Sean Lynch.
It's an interesting insight here, Mike, into the mindset of the two teams. Philippines have come out competing for that spot, that extra couple of points in the Asian series, where I think the Malaysia were in a tight game, their last game against, or they should potentially might have been in the semi-final, and their tournament seems to be falling apart a little bit, because you'd have bet on the performance earlier on that Malaysia would have been in a position or leading at half-time against the Philippines based on the previous performances.
Yeah, real turnaround for the Philippines, and well, as we saw from the last game, nothing can be taken for granted, but a 17-0 lead going into the break is a strong one for the Philippines.
Lovely to see as well, Hong Kong bias, but Matthew Roden, one of our 8-panel referees in Hong Kong, taking charge of this game, his first season on the 8-panel of the ARFU referees, and lovely to see him having one of these top quality games as well in his first Asian 7 Series tournament in the middle, so doing really well as well after an excellent performance earlier by Tim Baker. So
Well
fantastic that we are building the base of referees in Asia.
Well done, sculpting a good game so far. Very much the thinker.
They're all coming out now.
Eh? We won't talk about the gates of hell, another
No,
Rodin
we better
sculpture
not, we
there.
better not.
Hopefully
We
that
lo-
won't enter the fray.
We will lose our viewers, I think. If we haven't already lost them.
No, it's a beautiful museum, that Rodin Museum in Paris. Went there a couple of years ago. Segwaying away.
Well, he hasn't, Matthew hasn't quite got the cultural background of Rodin. He's from the same part of the world as you. He's a New Zealander, so
So he'll be much
no
more
offence
refined
intended.
than any
Obviously, being a
French person.
Welshman,
Is that
similar
what
kind
you're
of culture to Wales.
Well, I'm sure he likes a drop of wine. He might have that similarity with the Frenchman.
Another Frenchman that's coming to town next week with our referees is Alan Roland. French-Irish, coming in to be part of our annual conference, referees conference, which is built for the new season. So great to have quality people coming in to help our delivery there and our
Stevenson, the
development.
rugby league player, coming in and claiming the kickoff. Wanted to play positively, but it hasn't ended well here for the Philippines, because Malaysia will get a penalty. Zulkifli wanted to take it quickly, but Rodin just getting him back on the mark.
Yeah, it's important that, you know, Matthew was very clear then as where the mark was, but players as well have to take responsibility for that.
Zarif, poor mistake there, hasn't found touch, and Holgate gathers it well. Flat pass there to Andrew Wolf. We saw his effectiveness with the ball in hand. Oh, Zarif's managed to come back. So it must have been a head-high tackle there from Etonia. So well in control here, the Philippines. Just a minute elapsed in the second half. And Holgate punts for touch, and unlike Zarif, finds his mark 30 metres out. I like the style of Andrew Wolf. Unfortunately, I did call him Kenny Stern a lot yesterday. Some numbering issues from the team list that I was issued with, but apologies were accepted by Wolfie.
Yeah, a very powerful individual. Been a part of the Philippines Sevens team for the last few years, and powerful runner. I think
Here's Lynch again. Talking about powerful runners inside the 22. And it slipped to Holgate, and he could sniff a chance down the blind side. Good scrambling defence, and the last pass goes astray. Ned Stevenson can't pick it up. It's a bit of basketball going on at the moment. And Holgate must have been offside there. So relieving penalty for Malaysia, although they're looking to take it quickly again with Murray Lin. Throws the pass out of the back of the hand and outside now to Rambebe. Good run from Rambebe, and flings the pass where he thought Atunaisa would be. Jason Lynch letting that one roll out. Murray Lin with the soccer arm in the air, claiming the ball for the touch, and he's right. The assistant referee agrees with him. So Malaysia have to urgently score here, Di.
oh, without a doubt, you know, 4.5 minutes left on the clock. They desperately need a score. And we are seeing body language of the Philippine boys change. They are tired and
Yep, so it's
Ends
new
mark.
legs. Sean Lynch is off, and Ken Stern is on.
just on cue. Important you use the bench in these conditions.
Coach Jeff Alley making the change, and of course supported ably by manager Matt Chook Cullen. One of the nicest Australians you'll meet, Mr. Cullen. And away they go again. Philippines on the attack this time. Brief breather, and just gone forward. Let's thought he was away. Fond regards to all Philippines rugby fans. I know they're our largest set of followers on YouTube. Very tech savvy, and of course all those fans viewing from around the globe. I'm sure Lolo in Florida is watching this. Austin Dakane. And some of the boys in Chicago, Australia, Michael Letts, Jake's brother, and of course the boys in England as well, who've played for, and in Wales of course, for Philippines in the past. Thinking of Stephen Howarth.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we've had a lot of local support as well. Our own Keith Robertson could have been eligible to play for the Philippines, with Mum giving him his eligibility, but we pinched him early and made sure, so lots of Philippine support as well.
So this is Malaysia's chance. Rambibi to Atunaisia. They pushed Jason Lynch there as well off the ball, and Rambebe with some flowing play there from Malaysia and a well-deserved try. Is it too little too late?
It possibly is, Mike, but that's what the Malaysians did first 3 games of this tournament. I'm a little bit taken back by their performance. That is an indication of what they're capable of, and I don't know whether it's attitude, mental toughness, but they don't seem to have been able to get themselves up for this game. But have they got time left? 3 minutes on the clock, who knows? An early score off this kick-off and they're back in the game. It's only a 10-point game.
Yes, you're right. I think their confidence was knocked with the loss against Singapore. Singapore really getting up and playing above themselves, to be fair, against Malaysia. Although I've sensed that confidence now from the Singapore camp after their great 15s victory over the UAE. A little bit more belief in the rugby system there in Singapore, which is great.
Again, then a critical kickoff, wasting another 30-40 seconds for Malaysia, not finding the 10. Little things, margins, but allowing Philippines possession.
Here's a young man who's studying at Exeter at the moment.
Great clean-up by outside half Gareth Holgate there to protect the ball. Fantastic work in the contact area for a fly half and outside half.
Young again, and Philippines letting the ball do the work here. Out to Stern on the outside. The American-based Filipino. A nice front foot ball here for the Philippines. Oh, and a little knock on down there on the ground. So there's some changes afoot. The Philippine squad, we'll see Chris Everingham.
Interestingly, Chris hasn't figured a lot this weekend. Has he been injured? He seems to have been doing the running the water. Chris has been a prominent figure over the last couple of years. Just doesn't seem to have played a great deal this weekend, Chris. So it'd be interesting to catch up with Matt later to see if they've been carrying injuries. And
yes, you're right there. He's one of the experienced people at sevens for Philippines. One of his passions, rugby, along with skydiving and break dancing. I know you fancy the break dancing as well, Di.
Oh, without a doubt. I've actually seen him doing a little bit of break dancing for a couple of tournaments throughout the series. So he is pretty special. The Philippine lads are actually when it gets to the aftermatch entertainment.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple of rousing post-tournament receptions last year. And no, even the Sri Lankan boys got musical on it after a while as well in Singapore.
Philippines flooding 3 subs on for the final, or the dying minutes, dying 1.5 minutes.
Jones, Everingham and Zapier with limited time in this tournament. I don't know if it's a fashion statement from Zapier or whether he's just too large for the sevens outfits, but he's the man with no number this weekend.
Oh, that's a little bit harsh, Mike, I got to say.
Well,
not every sevens player is as slim as yourself.
Well, he's a strapping boy, but a deceptive pace too for a larger man. Zapier based himself in Manila now too.
Big line for them. Secure possession would be the winning of the game. Malaysia get a score in the next 30 seconds, 40 seconds, they got a chance. Oh, and there we go. Possession, turnover. Head and scrum to Malaysia with a chance to.
Just a minute 15 to go on the clock, so it's going to have to be a pretty quick dash down 90 metres to the try line for them. So Everingham finds himself thrown into the fray in the front row there with the headgear on, and out it comes. Rambebe to Zulkifli, who's really got some shoes on him. And away go the wheels of Zulkifli. Decides to put in a kick for his teammate Sadiq. And Sadiq will lose this foot race, I think, with the Philippines player, Kenneth Stern, who goes back, has the peace of mind not to push the ball down. And here's Andrew Wolf, the big bag Wolf. And he draws the tackle as well. Robert Jones, the new man on the pitch, looking for his support. The pass is too low for Everingham, but it's Gareth Holgate who's back. And now Malaysia have a chance to recoup some space. But there's some tired boys out there. It's Murray Lynn, who's played a lot of time in this tournament, deciding to give Zapier a run for his money. Across comes the cover in the form of Lynch, Jason Lynch. Good tackle too, Lynn. Sensing his support wasn't with him and flinging a pass back, and some diving off their feet there from Sadiq. So that will be penalised, and that will see the end of this 7th, 8th playoff with Philippines successful against Malaysia. I think even the Philippines, who love the entertaining flying play, will be happy to just kick this one out and finish the game. No! Holgate plays on. Well, he's put me wrong. Zapier, they want to finish with a typical Philippine flourish. Jason Lynch. Robert Jones out to Holgate. And there's some space here too. It's Andrew Wolf again, who this time pins his ears back. He's got to beat Zulkifli. Cuts inside nicely. Zulkifli though, you can't keep up with the pace and the change of direction from Andrew Wolf. So he finished it and he closes it, Andrew Wolf. Great performance from the Philippines in the 7th, 8th playoff.
Yeah, and deservedly as well. Like Wolf has had a huge influential effect on the outcome of this game, and it's fitting that he's still on it, still working hard, deep into overtime, and completing the game with the extra points being added by Gareth Holgate.
Wasn't that great to see? Time was up, but they decided to go for the
fantastic.
run,
yeah, I like you. I thought they were going to kick the touch and settle for the win. But yeah, and as I say, it was fitting that Wolf scored. Gareth to convert. Gareth Holgate, and Philippines coming out eventual winners 24-7 against a very tired of the same Malaysian team.
So up next will be the plate final between China and Singapore.
Interesting matchup here, Singapore. Sri Lanka versus China. Singapore, sorry.
It is the men's plate final. Silverware on offer in this match. Please put your hands together and welcome back to the pitch for the final time this weekend, the teams from China and Singapore.
Like China rebuilding yet again. Fresh new faces on the circuit. Seems to change every year, but more noticeably over the last 12 months, with the directorate of the union moving away from Beijing, and as a result, new younger players being brought in following the national games last year. Fan Dong, who we played in the final, contributing a number of these players to the national team now, with very few Beijing-based players actually in the squad. So the future's bright for them, but it seems to be all the time. It's keeping this squad together, giving them experience they need to be able to compete with the likes of Korea and Hong Kong and Japan.
Well, Singapore really got up for the semi-final clash against Malaysia. They're Causeway neighbours, of course, so have they used all the gas in the tank, or can they get up one more time? Because this Chinese team have played really well in periods this weekend. They were in with a shot against Japan earlier on this morning, just couldn't convert their dominance into points. As Dakonel takes the ball in. Oh, beautiful run here from Ishraf, who goes away. Wonderful start to the game from Ishraf, the Wanderers man. Oh, he's taken out. I think it was a Wanderers man, although I've got him down here in the team list as Oldham. But, certainly one of the fine young players.
Yeah, he had a big influence in the previous game that they won. Some great pace. Thought it was going all the way, but some great cover defence as well by the Chinese.
Really determined to win this game, Singapore, in memory of Michael Grice, who sadly passed away this morning, the president of the Singapore Cricket Club and the vice president of the Singapore Rugby Union. Brilliant rugby man and fantastic guy. And we will miss him for sure. Rest in peace, Michael Grice. As China come away this time. And they decide the kicking is the best option. It's Wong Wei who picks up the ball as well. And he's found the right way to the try line, Wong Wei.
First try of the match, scored by the flying number 11 from China, Wei Wang.
So first blood to China here in this plate final.
That's a great use of the kicking game again. There were bodies between Wei Wang and the ball carrier in midfield. Didn't risk the risky pass, looked up, calculated kick, fantastic time to kick, and created a fine opening score for China.
Wang Jiha with the conversion attempt. Just astray, just slightly to the right there. So 5-0 is the score.
Narrowly missed conversion from Jianhua Wang. China lead Singapore by 5 points to 0.
Wang makes his way back to halfway to restart play. Good to see one of Asian rugby personalities, Izzy Kadir, doing so much development work in the last couple of years, taking the reins of the Singapore team, and he's obviously done a pretty good job this weekend. Singapore punching above their seeded weight.
Yeah, Izzy has been fantastic for Asian rugby, working for ARFU on a tournament, organising tournaments, spreading the word around the region. So it's great to see Izzy involved with Singapore rugby directly.
Another man too from Singapore, Ridzal Sat, with his appointment to the IRB. Congratulations to him. Spent the last few years at the Football Association of Singapore, but back in the rugby fold. It's good to see Ridzal back as well. Not here this weekend. Max takes the ball up. Martin Butler. And here's Daniel Mark Chow, who gives it to Mohamed Zaki, who's had a great tournament himself. Zaki really worked on his pace as well, but a foot race between Zaki and the Chinese player Liu Chao.
Mike Machao has been around for some years in the Malaysian setup, both in and out, in the team, out of the team. And what do you know about him, the number 3 for Singapore?
Oh, the Singapore team, yes. Yeah, no, he was a player who spends his time in the 15s game between second row and loose forward, and couldn't get any playing time at the Singapore Cricket Club, so decided to transfer to Badok for more match play, and I think that's been a good thing for him to do. John Lee there as well. Now Zaki takes it away from the untidy line out, playing into the sun here, a bit hard to see. It's Butler though who steps and commits a couple of defenders and drives to the line. Butler, he looks like he's got it down. Yes, the referee agrees, and it's try time for Butler, and that will level things up with the conversion to come. Oh, in fact,
no, he's checked with the in-goal man. He's checked his in-goal touch decision. It's been called out.
Howie Rollins, I thought he'd hoisted his arm in the air to signal the try, but asked for the extra help, and why not when you've got a man stationed there at the dead ball zone. So got excited too soon there for Singapore.
I sense that excitement. You can tell you've been living in Singapore for some time, Mike.
Yeah.
That passion.
Always good to see Singapore do well. We've had some great success in the sporting realm in the last couple of months. A slew of Commonwealth Games medals. Especially
fantastic
in the
new facility in the new stadium.
Oh, fantastic. And
some big sporting events and sporting occasions at that stadium in years to come.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a great thing to have, and can't wait to see it full. We've got the Suzuki Cup football coming up later this year, and whenever the Singapore national team play football, they're strongly supported. But we had a great crowd at the World Club 10s in June. Saw the Auckland Blues defeat the ACT Brumbies in the final. And strange though, because Piriwipu was playing in the tournament, and London Welsh were there, and lo and behold, a week later he announced his departure from New Zealand Rugby. So a bit of transfer market going on there as well, as we see China breaking away, but he's put his foot in touch. That'll be an interesting season for London Welsh as they make their way in the Premiership.
Yeah, an unfancied team to go up. Bristol tipped with all their big spending and ex-internationals and quality players there, but London Welsh fronted up in both games and outplayed them. So, and now London Welsh seems to have really invested in some quality players as well in Piriwipo, and a number of quality players coming in from the southern and northern hemisphere.
Chanda Ishraf, oh, he telegraphed that pass, and the telegraph was well received by Wong Wei, who goes over for his second try and shows a little exuberance too, diving over. Good to see.
Number 11 from China, the flying wing again, Wei Wang.
Well, that was a shame for Singapore. Looked as though they'd scored to level. It denied the try being held up, and then China bursting back.
Yeah, harsh reality of sevens rugby. Could have been 7-5 to Singapore.
Jian Hua for the conversion. There's Wong Wei. Good to see him playing with a little bit of panache, and well, he read that play well from Ishraf. Was never on too with the numbers that China had outside. Shame from Ishraf. Won't slow down his flair though, a confident young man, the 20-year-old, studying business at the Republic Polytech. Chow can't get his hand to the ball, but Zaki gets it, and he gets a big hit on him too from Liu Guanjun. Hardy enough though, Zaki. Dakanoa to Ishraf, who throws a bounce pass off his left hand, and China try to hold the man up. They can't do it. Here's Chow, who's been everywhere so far in this game. Good man to have in the tight and loose. And China again come away. There's a bit of crossing though, bit of obstruction that will deny Feng Li Wei the try. So Singapore with the penalty, and we've played well over 8 minutes now of this first half, so due a little break at half time, you'd imagine. So no, they're going to put this one out, Singapore. I'm not sure if they're aware that, in fact, as Dowie Rowland's going to know, he's whistled half time. So Singapore down 12 points at half time against this very strong and powerful Chinese team.
Final by 12 points to 0.
Yeah, good efficient performance first half by China, Mike, and but unfortunately just one little turnaround, one little incident, which was the held up over the line. Some great work in the in-goal area by the match official. I think it's Warren Meaden from Hong Kong, keeping his eye on the play for his referee, who'd been bowled over by the contact area, and critical play, and then China capitalising on a bit of sloppiness in midfield and securing a 12-point lead at half-time.
One of the keys to Singapore's victory against Malaysia was the second half performance of some of the fresh legs. Gunasekara, Naresh and Jalil as well, coming on and adding some fresh legs. So they're not out of this game, but they need to probably score first in the second half here. Also assisting the Singapore team is Clarence Lam, who also was one of their stars back a decade, and brother of professional golfer Lam Chi Bing. A bit of a talented family there, the Lambs. No, he was excited to see Roger Randall again, who's with the Japanese team this week. He last saw him at the IRB Sevens, I think, about 10 years ago.
What's Roger? What role is Roger playing?
Oh, he's the spot coach, so I guess he's dealing with the backs. I'm not exactly sure. But,
So referee Rowland is just about ready to start us off in the second half of the men's plate final.
so a bit of a wall to scale here for the Singapore team. 12 points down as we start the second half. And there's Jamil already creating an impression. Big hit, he's like a human cannonball, Jamil. Stocky build and really throws his body around. It was a big hit to announce his presence at the Hong Kong Football Club, and he played really well against Malaysia too, throwing himself at the big Fijian players. No fear. Chan will put the ball in here to this scrum and thinks about the blind side and gets Ishraf into a bit of space. Good timing on the pass. Jamil to Zaki. And Zaki and Jamil again. Just, oh, I love the way he throws himself at the contact.
Fantastic work rate. Could have a big influence over this second half.
And he's there at the base of this ruck, and he's going to have another go. There's the support with him, yes. Squeezes the ball out. It's sloppy though, and China have got onto this one and turned it over. So now they've got a chance here. Trying to go to ground through Lu Peng. Support play from Liu Chao, and away goes Wong Wei again. And this will be hat-trick time for Wong. And he's certainly proven to be the difference in the two teams when he's had the space.
Yeah, unfortunately for Singapore, Mike, what's happening here is that you don't go toe to toe with any China team. They're very big, they're very physical. What Singapore need to do is to get the ball away from the contact area into the spaces. They'll get some rewards, but again, 3 or 4 contact areas by Singapore with ball in hand, and then eventually being out-muscled, turnover ball, difficult to defend, then turnover ball, and so. Yeah, China now pushing themselves away into a position where Singapore really need this score to stay keeping this this plate final.
Singapore finishing 10th in the series last year, 11th the year before, so even with this loss, 6th position, so a good start for them. Really turning over the apple cart with their performance against Malaysia. So here's Jamil under the ball. Shapes to pass, but again, crashes and smashes his way into the hefty contact, and he's held up as well here and loses the ball. So China again on the attack, really putting Singapore under the hammer, and there's loads of men out here on the right, and beautiful pass and draw from Feng, who puts his teammate Kai Wen into the clear for a try.
As you identified at the beginning of the game, Mike, the Singaporean team had to put such a big effort into that semi-final plate win against the rivals Malaysia. Malaysia, hugely physical, and now unfortunately for Singapore, perhaps the amount of effort they had to put in to get to this final is now telling on them, with the bigger athletes and the stronger athletes of China really controlling the contact area now, and the physicality in defence.
Fair play to China. They were a couple of loose passes and knock-ons away from defeating Japan in the quarter-final as well, so hopefully they'll build some confidence from this performance. It's been a nearly performance from them, but they've come away as plate victors by the looks, with just 3 minutes left of the second half.
Certainly it's a strong-looking China team, and again, looking ahead to the Asian Games, they'll create a real threat for medal positions in Korea later in September.
The Chinese players there absolutely squashing. It's Dakano that was under the ball. In fact, it was Keith Ariola who's come onto the ground. Warm reception for him, the Oldham player. Naresh gets them out of the 22. Ariola to Ishraf. Switch of play, but sadly play breaks down, and not playing the whistle there. Singapore just dropping their shoulders. Jalani, who made the handling error. Oh, and there's another handling error, so a play advantage to Singapore. Rollins on the spot to make sure what was going on.
2 minutes to go.
We should salute the voluntary force of the Singapore Rugby Football Union here, led at the front by Andrew Lee, ex-national prop, doing a sterling job out there in the heat. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Very well, man, very well.
Enjoying the rugby?
Yeah, it's good. It's a good day.
Enjoying the aircon here in the commentary booth?
Enjoying it a lot, yeah.
All right, you've had enough now. Get out, please, and get on with your work.
Andy retired at the ripe old age of 27. Probably with the 6 more years in him. So, but a major administrator now of our domestic leagues and controlling the game in Hong Kong. But I'm sure we'll get him back into a national shirt.
declare
He's
a
a very
kick.
young prop in relative terms.
Yes, indeed, just approaching his pomp really as a prop. So China sealing the deal here with their fifth try.
For that man from China.
And he's got
Wei
4,
Wang.
a bag of 4 one way. So he's done very well, the flyer. And well, he didn't get much time at the start of the tournament, but he really impressed as a young player coming into the system, taking every chance that he was given, and good to see him in the starting lineup and really making some hay while the sun beats down here at the Hong Kong Football Club. Just a minute to go. It's all been one-way traffic, sadly, for Singapore. And China with a 31 points to 0 lead.
Singapore 0.
Naresh gives it the little step and manages to evade a couple of defenders. Loses the ball in the contact, so advantage here for China. Wang Wei, the star of the show so far in this plate final. Gets smashed, but they'll come back for the scrum for China.
On the last play of this plate final, I think, Mike, off this scrum. We see a Philippines approach with China trying to play. I suggest in the heat and reservist manager, you may see China pop it off the field and settle for the plate win 31-0.
So 4 games left in this tournament, the 3rd and 4th playoffs for men and women, and then the cup finals. Some exciting rugby to look forward to, and Dewi Rollins blows his whistle shrilly to signal the end of this plate final, and a well-deserved victory for China over a brave and plucky Singapore team.
Yeah, excellent plate final. Disappointing for Singapore not to have competed, but I think that the game in the semi-final against Malaysia took it out of them. And well-deserved plate win for China, who, as you rightly said earlier in the tournament, pushed Japan all the way. So a great win, great for confidence boosting for China as they build to the next event and indeed further down the line to the Asian Games.
So coming up next should be the 3rd and 4th player for women. Japan taking on Kazakhstan. It's that China women's rocking all over the world.